The victors valiant, the conquering heroes, and they call home the Big House. Bathed in maize and blue, welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. Today, a Big Ten clash, and you know when you square off against a conference opponent, the blood boils a little hotter. As we'll see, the Nebraska Cornhuskers taking on the winners of 7 straight, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Cornhuskers will kick it away first. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. So the Michigan Wolverines offense takes the field for the first time today. And this wide receiver, he's the linchpin to the offense. They want to make sure they find a multitude of ways to get him the football.
And it's a risk-reward scenario on defense when you're trying to cover this guy, Reese, because you play man coverage, you risk him running by you and catching deep balls. You play too much zone, and then he can hurt you after the catch. A lot of different ways that this guy is very dangerous.
Power football with the run. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
He's looking for a man on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Potts. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give him a first down.
That's a really nice pass. You can see why this guy right here gives the Michigan faithful reason to be optimistic. You know, for years we know Michigan has always been good at running the football, but they've got to be able to throw, and they've got to be more consistent making big plays through the air. This guy gives them that chance.
They'll throw it on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Potts. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. And now on second down for this offense. Leaves it with the back. Shakes off the defender. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. Ball is at the 42-yard line, close to 4-down territory. Here's third and short. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. That pass is well off target. He was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down.
Well, they try to throw for it there on third down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. And they gambled in their own end, and now they give up really good field position. So the Nebraska Cornhuskers offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key for their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Hard running there. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. The Huskers send out the punt unit. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Gets it away, good distance, but more importantly, just the direction he wanted. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession they went for it, they rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Picked up some yardage with that completion, now second down. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Here's the handoff. The Wolverines get enough for the first down. See that maze in blue, and you expect tough-minded, hard-nosed running attacks.
I expect big, physical, huge linemen that don't like people, that are going to move them out of the way and do just this, what we did right here. Move the sticks, get first downs on the ground. That's who Michigan is.
He's looking to throw it. Release to the back. Makes the grab.
Not difficult, not complicated, but early in the game, get in that rhythm. Find that timing with your wide receiver so you're set up for success. Then you go attack deep later on.
The give on the inside. Slam to the ground, but not before he gets the first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
And the Wolverines are moving quickly down the field. The give from the gun. Stopped at the 42, but he got 15 yards on the play.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They'd just been running into a wall. They just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
Fires to the big fella. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. They might have the defense's head spinning a little bit now. Hit him with a big run, now they hit him with a big pass.
Man, it's so hard to defend both. You know that. Which coverage do I want to put? Do I want to put more people in the box to stop the run? When you've got this kind of balance on offense, the defense can't be right.
And the freshman does a great job using his technique and getting the man on the ground. On second down, just keeps firing. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
Really nice job by the defense. They know the quarterback was outside the pocket. They were still able to get a hat on him just as he was trying to make that throw and force the incompletion.
Now remember, they were stopped on fourth down earlier in the first quarter, but they'll try it again. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On fourth down, they'll pass for it. And it's incomplete, a missed opportunity for the offense.
Man, that is a big-time drop right there. Fourth down, opportunity to catch it, maybe get the first down. That is tough to swallow, but as a QB, I got to walk over to him and say, listen, dude, we're going to need you later on. I still believe in you.
They'll pick up 4, second and 6 coming.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
Well, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
Runs through the tackle. Delivers the contact. Justice refuses to go down. Keeps those legs churning. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! He shed tackles like a snake getting rid of his skin. That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
And if you can string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to... of scoring.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, fellas, here's a quick update on a top 15 clash today. SMU is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join former Heisman winner Doak Walker among the legends to wear that uniform. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Boston College. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in studio, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. The Wolverines are in the hurry-up. The give to the back. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Looking to move it through the air. Trying to get to him. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Wide receiver shows motion. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
It's so hard for a defense to have to stop plays like that because it really forces you to play with great eye discipline. You see the pre-snap motion. Defense doesn't know if he's just running across the field and he's going to run a route, if he's going to block, or if he has the football. That time, he was able to outflank the defense and hurt them to get that first down.
And he was just a couple of steps away from taking that one even further after the catch. This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. Pressure coming. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike.
Man, this guy's going to need some water when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? We've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
They'll try the run. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Now on 2nd and goal. They'll run it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on third here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Second quarter might not be gamble time, but inside the 3, Palmer, I've got the green light. I'm going for this.
I am too, and you're essentially running a 2-point play here, right? You've got a play you've practiced all week long. That's the play you dial up right here.
They'll try to blast their way in. He's stuffed, knocked down behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and goal, and they'll have it at the 3. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. They're trying to get some breathing room from deep in their own territory. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
A nice job by the defense there tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
He's going to run it. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
This is the type of play that can give the offense momentum. 3rd and short from inside the 20. Open space at the 25. He's off to the races. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
And the Huskers have it with a 1st and 10. They're going to ride this running back. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Got him looking run. He wants to throw. It's caught downfield. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the 1st down. The Cornhuskers are rolling down the field. Movement here from the tight end. Off play action on 1st down. Shoots it to the left. It's complete. There was tight coverage, but a perfect throw and catch, and they've got it at the 9, 1st and goal.
And when this quarterback is in a rhythm, this offense is really hard to stop. You've seen that on this drive. He's 3 for 3, but they're also running the ball well. Everything they're dialing up right now is working.
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Huskers. Can these guys just score from anywhere out there? After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out and go get you a touchdown, that's a great drive by the offense.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude.
Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And they can't make the connection going for a big play on 1st down.
Well, the defender got his hand on that one, tipped it up in the air, and offense, man, they're lucky that one wasn't picked.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he's brought down after a nice gain. And the Wolverines moving quickly to the line.
What a nice run there. And from the beginning of time, Michigan football has been synonymous with running the football. You can think back to Tyrone Wheatley, Anthony Thomas, Chris Perry, Hassan Haskins, big physical runners that also had sprinter speed and that could change the game. This dude right here, every time he has the football, he has the ability to go the distance, and that's what makes this Michigan offense so dangerous.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. They'll run the screen. Makes one man miss. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be 4th down. They'll pass on the 48-yard field goal attempt and instead try to pick up the 1st down. The give and the run on 4th down. The Wolverines are stopped, but not before getting the 1st down. In plus territory, not really much of a decision to make there. They had to go for it, and it paid off.
Yeah, they know points are going to be at a premium in this game, so they're going for it here, no doubt. Nice job picking up the 1st and now putting a lot of pressure on this defense.
They'll put it in play from the 27, 1st down. He's going to pass. Looking to the big tight end. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited.
Well, that is one the tight end is going to want to have back. He was wide open on that play. That's one he's got to make. He's got to be able to make that catch.
Right on target this time. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the 1st down. IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this 3rd down play. Clock running. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. Grab near the marker. It's Potts. They get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks.
It's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
And the Wolverines will line it up on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Get it out on the screen. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David, it's sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to...
And he intercepts it. Never had a chance to get rolling after the pick, but he gives them the ball in prime field position at the 40. A 1st down for the offense. Quarterback will audible. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Turns it loose. Incomplete, and man, is he lucky to get that one back. Defense that close to an interception.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
The back goes in motion. He's back to throw on 2nd down. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Fires deep toward the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Michigan!
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. You get that touchdown right before the half, build the momentum, and the last thing you need to do is mess it up by allowing a big kickoff return. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. The give. May not be the most memorable play of the day, but it's important as he gets them out to the 25-yard line. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, tough to beat the pageantry and quality of play so far today in Ann Arbor. An entertaining first half, and we've got a multi-possession lead to break down thanks to the surgical precision of this offense. Might honestly take more time to talk about what didn't work than what did. The running game, the passing game, gadget plays have worked. Now it's just a matter of finishing the job.
The Wolverines will kick it away to crank up the second half. On the move from inside his 5. And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires left. Complete downfield. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
Yeah, and it's nice to have guys like this on 3rd down, on money downs that you can go to, and you know he's going to win. Hit the gas, hit the brakes, create a little bit of separation. Nice job.
This time they'll go to the running game. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
They can really be aggressive after that last play at 2nd and 3. He's looking to throw. He looks that one in nicely. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
When you play zone coverage, everybody drops back. Everybody has eyes on the quarterbacks. You're not really looking at the wide receivers a lot of times, so they can slip in those little cracks, and the quarterback can really make precise throws. Great job, great play, great throw, great game.
One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Finds his tight end. And gang tackling on this dude is a good idea. They needed it, but he still got the first down.
Nice catch by the big tight end. Nice job holding on to the football, getting the first down. But I tell you what, I love the physicality by the defense. I love how they're making him pay every time he catches the football. Later on, he might be less likely to want to reach his arms out there and try to catch that thing.
They'll leave it with him. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll go right back to the run. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up there.
Yeah, and plays don't...
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Middle linebackers, they're middle linebackers because they're right in the middle of the defense. You put guys that have a nose for the football because they literally line up over the football every single time. They play the run well, and look at this. How about this? Rushing the quarterback, getting him on the ground, getting the big sack.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
Quarterback checking the play. On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. Takes a hit as he fires. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
They'll pick up the 1st down as he gets it out to the 27-yard line.
Man, the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And, guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to...
Running toward the tape. The 30. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the 1st down before he steps out of bounds.
Really nice job working the crossing route there, and I love the separation at the top of the route. He put his foot in the ground, he used his speed, and that allowed him to make the catch and get a few more yards after the play.
He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down.
This offense has a lot of different ways they can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
And the Wolverines have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Looking for a path to the end zone to the right. Touchdown, Wolverines. They take the lead with the 6. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed. stop him at the 16. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They reached deep in the playbook, used almost all of them, it seemed, Jesse, and still ended up having to punt last time.
And I think on this next drive, David, you can go back to some of the stuff that worked that last drive, too. Find the things that you had success with. You just got to be able to build on it a little bit.
Yeah, and just break that extra tackle, make that extra play, make the guy miss, put a drive together so you can finish with some points.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Jump the gun just a bit, and we've got a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Buying some time. He'll pull it down. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Coming after him. And now they've lost the ball here. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover. What a boost you can get from something like that, and now they've got it 1st and goal with the 1. They'll go with a direct snap. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan. A quick strike, just as we expected.
Yeah, and quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
And the extra point is good for a 28-14 lead. That's exactly what you want to do when you have that type of field position. Strike quickly, and they did. One play, and they put it on the board. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be dragged down. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. He'll ride his man on the option. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
This quarterback really is going to have to be aware in this game of trying to find lanes to throw into when he's throwing over the middle of the field, because this D-line does a great job getting their hands in the air.
Makes a move. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. And with the pressure on him, the quarterback goes down, and we've played 3 quarters here. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. The Wolverines will punt this one away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And in this situation late when you need 2 touchdowns to win the game, everything's going to have to be downfield. So I like the idea in this 2-minute drive, throwing it that way. Let's keep it going, keep our pedal to the metal here.
Dialing up a 2nd down pass play. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
These are the perfect situations you love to be in. Known passing situations. These are not where the offensive tackles want to be. And when you're on the edge and there's no threat of the run, pin your ears back, get the nice first down sack.
Picks up just a few before he's brought down, not really willing to take a risk there on 3rd and long. The Huskers will line up to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
Yeah, and there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football. Make your plays. Put a good drive together here.
Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Looking to pass on 2nd down. Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be 3rd down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, going up top. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the 4th quarter.
You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3 and out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
And he's a real nowhere man, tackled in this no-gain land. Didn't get anything on that last run. Now 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play.
And now such a tough situation late in this game. You're trailing, but now it's 4th and long. Like, it's one thing if it's 4th and short. This makes it even more difficult. You got to have something dialed up. You feel.
They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on down. Excellent field position here for the offense. They go to the ground. They knock him down after a pickup of 4. Ball is at the 9-yard line. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll give it to the back. Pushes ahead for 2 to the 7-yard line. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And that lead grows even bigger. They keep pushing that lead out, and the kickoff team's getting some work. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And the returner is stopped. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. We'll see if that failed 4th down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
And the catch was one thing, and the run even better. A big pickup on that one.
Here's the deal. You're down 3 possessions. You know, it doesn't feel likely they're going to come back and win, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football. It all starts with a big completion on a 2-minute drive. They'll get the momentum started in your direction.
And they'll get him down, but boy, did he put some dudes in the spin cycle. My goodness.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to...
And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack. And the Huskers in the hurry up.
And as a defense, a lot of times you're coming into the game and you're just trying to limit the damage when you play a really great quarterback. And they've done more than that to...
And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster.
It's really hard to win football games when you're one-dimensional offensively, and that's the case. They just have not been able to get anything going, throwing it deep down the field. They haven't won their one-on-one matchups. Quarterback has missed some throws, and as a result, in the 4th quarter, they barely have 100 yards passing, and that's why they're losing.
Picked off. Got some room to run. Inside the 30. He steps out of bounds, but not only does he get the ball back, what a return to set up his offense.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's 4th down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. Dropped after a pickup of 4 down to the 16. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Running back searching for a hole. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. And he's already made one. The holder will put it down at the 26 for a 36-yard try. And that is no good. Had a chance to make this lead 20, but we're still sitting on a 17. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. It has been a rather forgettable day that's finally coming to a close, David.
Yeah, it's been an awful day. I mean, just not functioning well on offense. Defense giving up a lot of points. This is a day, Palmer, they'll like to forget.
Yeah, you're going to find out a lot about their character right now. Obviously, not what they hoped this would be, and that's demoralizing for a lot of these kids that have worked really hard in practice all week. But at this point here, you're just trying...
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. A beautifully placed ball to the outside, and the toe pick up. Now we'll hang on here. The coach has called a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. So he took a chance by using a timeout on the challenge, and it comes back to bite him. We'll see if he needs that timeout later. Comes out throwing on 1st down. And the senior would love to have that one back. Just a little too much on the pass. After the incompletion, let's see if they go back to the air on 2nd and 10 from the 33. Couldn't connect on 1st down. Now back to the air. Hauls it in. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the 1st down, you get out of bounds, you're working the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of the...
And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with the sack. The Cornhuskers racing to the line in the hurry-up. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Despite coming up short on the previous 2 4th down attempts, this offense will try it here again. Pocket starts to collapse. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. He is finally out of bounds, but he was smelling that end zone on that return.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
Winning those individual 6-second battles every play, time after time after time after time, and that leads to a victory here.
And I love when teams go out